Well, hello everybody. It's been a minute since I did something like this because it just took me an hour to set up the lights and the microphone and find a place in my house that would work for filming this sort of thing. But I think we got it, and now I'm going to do another packing video for you. Any plans that I had for what I was going to talk to you all about today kind of went out the window when I had to hunt for every individual piece of equipment to get this thing put together. I do like doing YouTube videos. I like watching stuff like this when I'm working and I just need something to help me focus. Part of the reason why I decided to start this channel in the first place was to maybe provide some of that for other people. But it turns out my house is big enough to conduct business in, but it is not big enough to conduct it comfortably. So every time I do this, it's like my entire afternoon. But the new books came in today, and I really wanted to get them out the door as quickly as possible, although that is also going a little behind schedule because my packing materials didn't come in. But a few people who pre-ordered the novel ordered other stuff, so I'm going to pack those orders because I do have the packing materials for those. We're going to give this a shot, and I'm going to try really hard not to shake the camera quite so much this time. I don't think signing books ever actually gets less stressful. It's always like, cool, I fucked up writing my own name, and now it's costing money. That's a little too much paper. I've gotten a little more confident doing the sketches and stuff, but I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to be comfortable working in ink. Oh, cool, my light went out. What a neat feature for a ring light to have. To just, turn off if you don't touch it for a while. That's cool. That's really neat. I wish any of my equipment was, legitimate equipment, but so much of it is just whatever I could afford, and most of it is just, we're gonna try this one more time, and if it's not gonna work, then we might just have to work a little bit in the dark. Anyway, most of my equipment is really cheap and terrible. Like I said, I don't really do a ton of video stuff. It's not a priority for me. Alright, cool. We're gonna get real cozy and work with the smaller light for this video. I don't do video content very often because of reasons like this. I just don't really have the patience for it. I don't have the face for it. It's not really a thing that I care to do. I became a cartoonist and I guess a writer now so that I wouldn't have to be perceived. Well, that was way too much straight. Sorry y'all, I am extremely distracted by all of my stuff not working. What the hell was I saying? Video just isn't a thing that I care about. A lot of comic artists and artists in general, they do TikTok versions of their comic. They get into the VTuber thing. And it is just not, I don't know. If I wanted to do video, then I would have done video, If I wanted to be a person making things on camera, then that's what I would have done. But it's not. I learned to do other things, and I want to do those. I like the kinds of things that you can do with video. Sorry, I gotta think real hard about that signature. I like the kinds of things that you can do with videos. I like the comedy. I think it's easy to be funny in videos. I like how snappy they can be, but I don't know. I think converting to another medium just because you're trying really hard to follow what's popular or trying to appeal to an audience that didn't show up for you in the first place, for your actual thing that you're doing, just isn't. That's not something I want to waste my energy on. I got enough other shit to deal with. I'm wearing so many hats already. I don't feel like I need to add another one. Any videos that I put on YouTube or any of these videos are just things that I think would be cool, things that I think would be fun to do. And they are fun when things work and once I, get everything put together. Just double checking my receipt here that you guys can't look at because it's got classified information on it. I was so worried about, obviously I had a book come out and that's what I'm packing here. I had my novel finally came out. I can't imagine anybody watching this doesn't already know about it. That wasn't the intention of this video. But one of the things that I was really stressed about was, we went to Barnes & Noble and we did a bunch of recon, you know. Like, I've been getting back into print books for like the last year and a half, I think. Partially because I want to read more, because I want to be a better writer. And I do enjoy reading. It is a thing that I like to do for fun. Oh, here are my new fancy business cards. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on that, but I got these because people at conventions keep wanting to talk to me, and I have my new author website. I needed cards that have the novel stuff on it, and you don't have to like click through the comic site to get to it, because that's confusing, because people get confused very easily on the internet. I was really stressed out. We did our recon at Barnes & Noble and stuff. Sorry, I just had to wander off to get my my little cards that I forgot. I will talk about them later. I've deviated from this story too many times. So, I noticed that a lot of the book covers that are popular right now, the stuff that is right out front, simple covers that people won't be embarrassed to be seen reading out in public. I think that's part of it. I think the other part might be that a lot of people are just making covers as cheaply as possible. They don't want to hire artists. So a lot of stuff, the style right now is vectors and stock photography and stuff, and people don't really know what to do with stylized covers, and I am very stylized, as y'all are aware. So I was really worried that I was going to have trouble getting the book to people if it looked like I drew it. You know what I mean? We should put some more packing paper in here. Either because people would assume that it's childish, and they don't want to be seen reading it, or I had this problem at conventions when I took the novel out for the first time. It was people don't want to read comics, and the cover of the book looks like a comic. So they're like, oh, that's not a thing that I'm interested in. But, you know, I'm stubborn, and I wanted it to look the way that I wanted it to look. That's honestly, if you can't handle like a cartoon cover on a book, you're not gonna like this one. So, I don't think I'm really losing anybody with that. But it did lead me to, I do have those travel posters that I do for each arc, which I think look pretty similar to, you know, the more simple covers. And so I made 2 covers. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can do both. I think my friend B called it the airport covers, like the one that you would find in an airport. I fretted about it. I got, like, that required 2 different ISBNs, and then I only sold 1 online for the pre-orders. The rest of the pre-orders were all the stylized cover with Phineas and Ulrich on it. This person got both of them, which is great. That's a thing that a bunch of people decided to do that really surprised me. People are really cool. Hold on, I gotta focus here. So I only sold the 1. And it's funny because in person it's the complete opposite. People do not want comics out in the wild. They will skip over everything at my table, you know, my whole rack of books, so that they can get to the prints or the trinkets or whatever, which is fine. I expect that sort of thing, especially when you're doing original stuff. That's a hard sell when you're at a con surrounded by fan art. And I like fan art, you know. It's fun to do. I am a fan of things, and it pays the bills. I got no problem with that. But I am always surprised that people at anime conventions don't want to read comic books as aggressively as they do. I didn't have the simple cover at the last show. I only had 1 proof of the stylized one. The smart thing to do would be to promote this during this video, but I've been promoting it non-stop everywhere. You guys do not need that. I'm curious to see how that's going to go when I have both of them at the table and see what people decide to go for, or if they're, even interested in either of them. It could just be that they don't think it's interesting. But it's been going pretty well so far, so I don't think that's quite it. The libraries that have ordered it, I've had 2 different libraries pick it up as of today, which is really exciting. But both of them ordered the stylized covers, so I don't know. I have no idea what people want, to be perfectly honest. I'm just gonna do stuff that I think is good, and maybe it will be good. I'm really bad at doing stuff specifically because I think it will appeal to other people when I don't really want to be there. Kind of applies here too. I do like my travel posters. I think they're really cute, and I certainly don't have a problem with the art that I made. But I feel like if you're gonna do something, if I'm gonna bother doing a book, it needs a cover, and if I'm gonna do a cover, I want it to be fun. I don't know. People have a problem with fun, I think, sometimes. Please save this paper for me, and I'm not sure it's the right size. I don't have bookmarks this time. We're just getting books and the usual little trading cards that I do, because boy, I barely had the money to even get these printed. The pre-orders helped a lot. It was a lot easier to get these printed than the comics. The comics, I have to get 20 pieces per order at least, and I don't get proofs. I just kind of have to spend $400 on 20 books and hope that they're good, and that sucks. It is what it is. Comics are just always going to be more difficult. Color makes things more complicated. The paper stock is more expensive. I have to go to a very friendly man in Denver and get them all printed by hand, rather than Ingram, which does pretty much everything. They don't have, distributors for comics that are accessible by little people like me. Oh wow, this is backwards. Holy shit, you guys. But I am having a bad time talking and working today. I don't know what the deal is. I guess just that I got all flustered trying to get all my shit together to do the filming. I try really hard to get the bow on the right side of the paper, so you can pull the bow open and then unwrap the book, and it's all nice. Sometimes I'm fighting for my life. See how hard this paper is to work with when it's all rolled up like that? Lee means so well. They try so hard to make my life easy, and I fight them at every opportunity. Oh, that's too small. It's fine. It adds character. You know what? Usually when I have 2 books like this, I just wrap them all in one thing. That would be the smarter thing to do. Okay. Jesus Christ. I see a lot of stuff on YouTube, or I guess anywhere, where they talk about oh, we're so chaotic. We're doing I saw a video the other day that was chaotic tips for running your online business or some shit. I don't know. I get recommended that stuff all the time. Or chaotic ways to fill up your sketchbook. And not to yuck anybody's yums here, but I feel like other people's definition of chaos is different from mine. This is not a relaxing packing video, and I'm sorry for that. Okay, so we want this upside down. Pull this under. This time for sure, you guys. This time for sure, you guys. Okay. Much better. I love when they fit perfectly in the box. It's all tucked in here. I'm gonna double check all of these packages before I seal them at the end of the video, because I have been so out of sorts. I might not even put in this talking, because I'm not sure that it is even making sense. This person got a sheet plush, and he's so cute. Lee does such a good job. this one, this order's a little bit awkward with the sheet plush and the book. We didn't really have any like good packing options for it, so we've got this emergency box that we use for weird stuff. But first we have to wrap her up so she doesn't get cold on the way there. If it were a tighter fit, I would take off the tag so it wouldn't accidentally tear during transit, but I think there's enough room in this box, it'll be alright. Lee usually has some nice stickers that they put on, but doesn't really match the orange. Sacrifices must be made. So this person gets quite a bit in their little packet. So there's the receipt. They get their trading card for the book. They get 2 Kid Commander business cards. They get Lee's business card, which is out of date now because we don't use Store NB in this house anymore. They get the little potato sticker. They get my sticker. They get my writer's business card. They get Lee's thank you card, and they get this new one that I'm doing for the novels. I've got a special one for patrons. Doing stuff with distribution has been a whole new thing. I'm trying to play the game a little bit because I would like to continue doing my work and also continue to eat. If you read the book and you enjoy it, do consider leaving a review. A book, and all of the little tiny things that go in the box. Alright, feeling good about that. Okay, I'm going to double check that everything is in the boxes, and then we're gonna wrap the outside. Fortunately, all of these boxes look different, so I can remember which packages get which labels. It's probably a good thing I'm about done. Mogo's awake. He is mobile. My beautiful son, who destroys my house. Well, I said we would do better next time. I don't know if we did better this time. But next time for sure.